everybody.
Morning.
Number of slides, but we're going to run through them pretty quickly. If you have any questions as we're going through, feel free to stop me and ask. Mostly it's quick overview, reminder, update on a few things for benefits restarting January 1st, 2025. So everything we're talking about now is going to start then. I'm not going to go through all the fine print on this, but for the most part, just walking through the agenda. So again, open enrollment starting today through the 20th. So if you want to make any changes, it's the iSolve platform, correct? To make any changes, if they want to, as far as elections or anything like that.
No, it's through the.
Oh, excuse me. Okay.
Yeah.
So get the paper, make your updates. That'll get adjusted for you. But again, also good to double check who your beneficiaries are for life insurance, things like that. New for 2025, United Healthcare has a lot of different platforms, a lot of different apps. One of the new ones for 2025 is called Calm. It's geared towards mental wellness, mental health. So you can access that if you want to look around, take a peek at it. You also have an EAP. You have some additional handouts with your EAP. That's just a name change this year, so your Employee Assistance Program. Again, that's something that it's free for you. It's available 24/7. It's confidential. Nobody's going to get a list of who called or who called for what reason. You can use essentially 3 meetings per incident. Effectively, and that's for yourself or anybody in your household. And effectively, if you need more than that, just make up a slightly different incident or the reason for the call, and you'll reset those 3 meetings. Again, one of the changes is if you recall, you have the designated network, especially for the specialists. So if you went to the general United Healthcare network, it would be one cost. Or if you searched out a designated network, essentially network that would provide a lower copay. So they're doing away with that. So essentially, it's an enhancement for everybody here that's on the plan. You don't have to worry about figuring out which is a designated network and which isn't. It's all going to be run at the same, effectively, the designated network benefit for you. Same thing for the lab work as well. You don't have to try to figure out which lab work you're going through from a designated network as well. 2025 reminder, again, we'll go through this as well. But again, for this, just going through some of the different benefits for United Healthcare. They do have essentially like a gym pass. You can get a discount for gym memberships if you want to utilize that. So again, everything we're talking about today is going to be available through, or can be found through the myuhc.com website. Again, we were just talking about this a few minutes before we started, but you can earn up to $300 a year in UHC rewards. That's something you can take advantage of. You can download that to a digital gift card, things like that, or use it towards additional purchases from the website. And again, by getting your annual checkup, things like that, similar to your wellness program as well, you have that available. HRA reminder, you have your wellness that you're in this year for next year. That can cover the first part of your deductible, and then the HRA picks that up, the second portion. So the first 1,000, 2,000, and then after that, if you didn't do the wellness, then you would have the HRA pick up for that portion for reimbursement. And the reimbursement is through iSolve. Again, I know we were talking about that. If you're having trouble with your cards, anything like that, let us know. We don't want it to get so far from payments that you're getting nasty letters from the doctors and things like that. They essentially have a timeline that they proceed on things when it goes to payments. So if they don't know what's going on, they're just going to follow that normal procedure. We don't want that to happen and have anybody sent to collections or anything like that. So again, let us know. Mary, reach out to us as well, and we'll help with that, make sure it gets taken care of. Again, sometimes with the card, it does base off of numbers. So if you're going somewhere, sometimes if they do cosmetic surgeries or things like that that typically aren't reimbursable. You may have a valid reason for being there that's not necessarily cosmetic. So just because that doctor's office might be linked to those types of surgeries, it may get declined. So again, if that happens, let us know and we're happy to help. Running through the benefits again, no major change on anything, just a couple updates that we're going to talk about. Again, your benefits are staying the same. You have your $5,000, $10,000 deductible. Your co-insurance is going to be the $2,500, $5,000. So your total out-of-pocket, $7,500, $15,000 for individual and family. And again, I'm not going to talk about the out-of-network because it's not that difficult to find a UHC network or stay in network with United Healthcare. And again, you can utilize the wellness rewards through your own township HRA reimbursement. And if you don't do that, then you'll be responsible for that first $1,000, $2,000. And then again, the HRA picks up that remaining $65.14 as well. Okay. Again, as we were talking about with regard to your specialist, you don't have the designated networks that you have to worry about. So you have your copays after deductible that are available, your ER visits, $750 copay after deductible, urgent care as well, $50 copay, outpatient. I also want to talk about, just double check on the preventative care, again covered at 100%. Those are what the ACA requires to be covered at 100%. It's not a very long list of blood workup, for example. So if you're going to a new doctor, typically they'll want to do a whole litany of blood work for you to really get a good baseline background. Not all of that is going to be covered under the free preventative wellness exam. Okay? So sometimes we've had situations with other clients as well where they get a $2,000 bill and said, well, I only went to get my free annual checkup. Well, it's because their doctor ordered a whole bunch of blood work that was over and above what that free annual preventative checkup includes, which is typically just your lipid panel and your sugar for the most part. So it's a pretty short list from a blood work perspective, and then your physical, things like that. But again, if that happens and you were going to get just your free annual physical, let us know. Happy to help. Again, it's always a good idea if you're going in to get that to let the doctor know, let the doctor's assistant know that that's what you're there for, and you're not looking to get anything else with regards to that. Also, if somebody's going in to get things like mammograms, colonoscopies, if you go in and have that done, get a bill for it, thought, well, this is just for my preventative. If they find something, if they biopsy something, if they have you sent away for additional tests, that moves from preventative to diagnostic. So then it becomes deductible and then co-insurance. It's not going to be considered preventative anymore. Same thing if you go to get it the following year. If you had that happen one year, moving forward, it's no longer going to be preventative. It's going to now fall under diagnostic. So it would be deductible and then co-insurance after that. Prescriptions, you have your 3-tier medications, which is a great benefit. A lot of, and the HRA does reimburse a portion of that. A lot of carriers are, in many cases, moving to a 4-tier, where that 4th tier is typically a couple $100. So this is still a great benefit with regards to your plan. You still maintain those 3 tiers at a partial reimbursement from the HRA as well. Per pay costs over on the far right-hand side. So no changes to that this year. You can see the monthly premium. So obviously Plain Township generously picks up a very good portion of that for everybody. And you have your, again, monthly per pay cost over on the far right-hand side. I'm going to run through, again, the ancillary, Delta Dental, the standard for your vision, life, and again, your EAP, Impact Solutions. What is the new name?
All One.
All One is the new name for that. Again, number's going to be the same. I'm not going to run through your dental line by line, but again, $50 deductible for individual, $150 for family per calendar year, and then you have a $2,500 annual maximum. And I would say typically the typical maximums we see are $1,500, $1,000 to $1,500. So you have a great benefit from your calendar year maximum on this as well. Again, your cleanings covered at 100%, and then your basic Type B services, pays 80%, you pay the 20, and then your major restorative, 60%. Again, if you're going for additional services that may not be covered, teeth whitening, things like that, as long as you're still in a Delta Dental network, you're going to get a discount, even if you've already exhausted your annual benefit, which is not hard to do if you get a crown or two during the year. Again, vision, copay, $10 copay. It's always good to get your annual vision checkup. Glasses, $25 copay. Again, if you're getting additional items onto your lenses, whether it's whether the dark transition lenses, I guess they call it as well, that's going to be cost a little bit more than what the standard is going to be, but you do get a discount on those as well. So dental and vision exams, again, Delta Dental for your dental network and BSP for your vision network, so you can search providers if you don't have one or you're looking to get a new one. Again, you have a $50,000 life insurance benefit amount provided to you generously by Plain Township. Again, great idea to double check who your beneficiary is. Marriages happen, divorces happen, dependents come on board, things like that. If you have a trust or a will and you want to make those, just double check who your beneficiary is. Again, there are additional value-added services that come with your life insurance, estate planning assistance, financial assistance, especially if let your dependent, your spouse, somebody also let them know that hopefully they don't ever have to use it, but there are funeral planning services, things like that to help them. If you're caught in a hack, you can have some information about identity theft and how to gain back your identity as well. Voluntary life insurance, if you want to pick up additional life insurance, up to $300,000 in $10,000 increments for yourself, or up to $150,000 for your spouse. You do have to have yourself covered in order to pick up life insurance for your spouse as well. You most likely will be required to fill out an evidence of insurability form, so essentially some health background questions, and that'll go to underwriting, and that'll let you know once that happens whether you're approved or not for it. Again, short-term disability provided to you by Plain Township. Benefits begin 14th day after injury or illness as well. So you get a 70% pre-disability income up to $2,000 per week. So a great benefit being provided to you by the township. Talked about, here's the all-in-one. This used to be the prior named EAP. So again, available to you through the township. Again, 24/7 availability, 100% confidential. Nobody's getting a list of who called in or for what reason. So that's a great service to you as well. You can have the app, you can call in, use the number of different ways to get that. Again, you have your wellness program that you're familiar with that is in place. Go through your Well4U login. If you have any questions on the login, let us know, or accessing that. Again, you have completed by the 31st of, this is for 2026, or this year, by the end of this year. So there are a number of different things you can do to get dollars into your wellness reimbursement account. So again, I'm not going to run through them all one by one, but again, you have this list available to you. Again, if you have any questions, let us know. We can certainly help with that. Just some additional points you can earn through your wellness program. Really just taking care of yourself, your annual checkups, that covers a lot of them. Using your HRA benefits, again, we talked about this, either utilize your wellness reimbursement portion that you've earned from the prior year, and then the township's HRA picks up after that. Again, iSolved is the administrator for the HRA. I know there's some hiccups previously that have happened with iSolved getting up and running from follow-up and things like that. So again, if you're running into any of those situations, let us know. They're fairly responsive at this point, so it should be able to get that taken care of. It might be something with the card as far as getting that set up and running. That might be the case. It might be something internally from their end. It might be, as we talked about, a doctor's office that is not coded properly for what you need the reimbursement for. So there might be a number of different items that can arise during the year if you're having any issues with your debit card. So again, let us know if you run into that. Don't wait until it's too late. Again, you have the process to walk through the reimbursement. You do it online, do it on the computer. If you have any questions, again, with EOBs or finding what you need to submit for reimbursement, again, let us know. Happy to help. You have these available in your iSolved access points, employee portals, resource portal. Just quickly running through medical costs. You have your premium we talked about, which you pay for on a monthly basis, per pay basis, and then you have your out-of-pocket, your deductibles, and expenses like that. It's always good to, every time that you are looking to save yourself money, it's in turn going to help the township. The goal for this ultimately, and the township works very hard on this throughout the year, is to make sure that they maintain the best benefits possible at the most affordable cost possible. So doing things like not utilizing the emergency room unless you have to. Obviously, if it's an emergency, go to the emergency room. You can utilize your virtual visits. I've done that before for my plan. Emergency room was open, urgent care was closed. I used a virtual visit and called in and say, hey, this is what's going on. Should I go to the emergency room tonight, or can I wait until the urgent care opens in the morning? They said, you know what, you're going to be fine. Just go to the urgent care in the morning when that opens up. That's about a $2,000 difference in cost from urgent care versus the emergency room. Again, you have available the virtual visit, no cost to you, so great opportunity there. If you have kids, getting flu season, earaches happen, things like that, that's a good option as well. You don't have to go into and take them into a doctor's office where a lot of times we end up coming out with an additional cold from what we had going in the first place. Care options, again, this is just some emergency room information, after hours, considering. But again, if you think it's an emergency, go to the emergency room. Just a little bit of general cost. I think the ER costs now are probably up into the $2,200 is more realistic than the $1,200. But again, kind of your cost differences across the board. So value-added benefits, again, available on the myuhc.com website. You can have your electronic card on your phone. If you have the app, you want to do that, or you can access it through the computer as well. Talked about preventative care, access to online care, again, available 24/7 through the website. The Real Pill program, this is similar to a Weight Watchers, so it's free for you. If you enroll in that, you get essentially a little collection of items sent to you in the mail to help you through that journey. You can access the forums and health coaches, things like that. Again, available through United Healthcare, free and available to you. Quit for Life program, tobacco, nicotine as well, available, no cost to you. They have a program that you can utilize if you're looking to do that. I don't think that you guys necessarily need this, but spouses, things like that, they do have a maternity program to help anybody pregnant or having a baby walk through that process, help them through the process. It can be fairly confusing sometimes, especially for first time with regards to becoming a new parent. That's all the slides I got. Ben has a couple.
Before we open up for questions, which we'll certainly do, a couple of updates. First of all of our eligible employees and your spouses have completed your wellness credits for the year. Thank you so much. That's really great to see.
Good job.
Appreciate it. We are continuing to work on the iSolve issues. If you have any issues that pop up, please don't wait. Contact Mary or I right away. We want to help you solve those as soon as we can. We don't want those to hang out there. Life insurance. The guaranteed issue life insurance for you, that $50,000 that you can increase to $50,000 for yourself, that elective, you have to elect that initially. So this has come up recently, and this is really important for anyone who's part of onboarding our new hires. All those new hires need to make that election initially, or they have to go through underwriting later. And so just something to know that everyone's up to speed on that. One little benefit under Delta Dental, I discovered this year. Our plan includes a special benefit if any of your dependents might need some help at the dentist with, and they've got like a developmental issue, or they've got a diagnosis. there is the availability of covered nitrous. So you got a kid who just cannot manage the dentist's office due to some issue that might be available to you. Just want to reiterate the rewards. Make sure you utilize those. If you've not checked, you probably have rewards available to you. They're linked to your United Healthcare account. So if you've had a regular preventative care visit, you've had lab results, all that's included. So you will have some money available to you. You can take it as a Visa gift card for Christmas or whatever. But please check before the end of the year. They reset January 1. The EAP is definitely an underutilized benefit for all of us. So just want to encourage everyone, think about using that. Everyone in your household, your family, your parents or in-laws, anyone who's experienced a loss. This is a hard time of the year for people. My father-in-law passed away a couple of weeks ago. Use those benefits available. Depression is one of the biggest challenges for all of us. Look out for your friends, your family, your loved ones, your household. Just consider using that service.
They offer other services too, sorry, I mean, they
Oh,
offer
yeah.
other services too, even if you just wanna go on there and check it out. I mean, when I got the flyers up here, if you wanna grab one and just check it out at your leisure, there's all kinds of other things on there other than just mental.
Yeah,
health,
throughout the
so.
year, I'll share training opportunities with officers, for personnel management, for leadership development. There's a whole host of things in the library. It's worth your time. Just tool around when you have it. And I think the only other thing is just, be mindful of the costs. I'm glad to hear that we're not having to search for the imaging partners to get the better rate. But just be mindful when you're out there. We want to provide the best benefits that we can. We're always looking for opportunities to manage that cost, and we're glad we did not have to adjust the employee contribution this year. So we thank you for everything you do to make it work. Now, does anybody have any general questions that you'd like to ask? You don't have to share any specific personal information. You can do that's okay. We'd like to talk about any specific personal issues, maybe offline. But anything for the good of the order. I know that we were looking at trying to link United Healthcare with iSolved for the EOB info. Any update on that?
They're still working on that, so I don't have anything definitive into it yet.
Okay, that's still in the works. We're trying to find a solution where we could pull more of that EOB data to make it more moderated.
User-friendly for everybody.
Yeah, I have seen that. Some of my regular pediatric visits don't require EOB. So some of that stuff is coming through, but obviously not everything. Anyone else?
I got a question about the life insurance. You had it up there, 300,000 and up to 150,000. That's what we can purchase besides what we get.
Yes.
Right.
On the
I thought I'd already been doing that, but evidently what I'm getting from my wife is not that much.
You can do that amount or lower, you can do up to that amount.
Well,
Right.
whenever I did it initially, it was the maximum amount we was allowed to do at the time.
Okay.
Yeah, based on what you enroll in, it's gonna be, I believe it's 50% of what you enroll in. So if you're at 100,000, it's probably gonna max out at 50 for your spouse.
Okay,
So if you bump yours, then hers would bump up as well.
okay.
Or the ability for it.
But you said the township automatically puts us in.
So that's the separate benefit that employees are eligible for. You have to do that separately. The township provides $50,000 life insurance coverage for every employee, then you can elect to add $50,000 to that. You can also elect to add $20,000 for your spouse and $10,000 for your dependents.
Then those are the guaranteed.
That's the guaranteed
amount.
issue. Again, you have to do that when you're initially hired, or when you're initially married, or when you have a baby.
Also, you can't do it now.
You can't do it now. No, you have to do it when
You
you're.
can, you just have to go through underwriting.
Correct.
Right? You
It's
can
not
bump it up, you
guaranteed.
just may not get it.
It's definitely worth going through the process. Just want you to know, you have to go through the underwriting, and it's not guaranteed.
Correct.
Mary, any general questions that you're getting?
No? Like I said, just a reminder with the iSolved card, can't use it at the pharmacy and you can't use it at dental or vision. So Sometimes vision, if it's a doctor's thing, I know we've had a few people that have, where it is run through UHC for their vision, in which case that'll work, but primarily, one of the big things I see is people trying to use it at the pharmacy. And once you've used it once at the pharmacy, it turns it off. ISOP turns it off until that gets taken care of.
And you can also submit claims for reimbursement through the app on the phone and through the portal online.
Mhm.
The benefit card is just an additional convenience.
And I'm more than willing to come down and help people figure out what's missing or what they need, so just let me know.
And it doesn't get turned off just to be a hassle for everybody. They have rules and regulations that they have to follow because they are essentially acting as a vendor for the township, for a company. So they're essentially following their rules. They're not trying to make things more difficult for everybody, so.
Just a reminder, and if you have any reimbursements from like now to the end of the year or whatever, and you don't get the, you know, the EOBs in time, whatever, you have until the end of March next year to get reimbursed for those from this year's bucket.
Great reminder. So, after the first of the year, any claims you submit for 2024 have to go through the portal. Do not use the benefit card or it'll get locked up. Submit them for reimbursement on the app or through the portal. Reimbursement only on last year's claims. We don't want you to use up the current year funding. You never know where you're gonna max out. If you have any other questions, feel free to send them to Mary or I. Thanks for being here this morning. Thanks for completing all your wellness credits. Really appreciate all of you and hope you have a great holiday.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks.